Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Authentic Info Podcast. Now, the president of Burkina Faso, IBRAHIM TRAORE, has shaken the West. Now, there's a piece that I'm going to read and then we get to this. It says that Burkina Faso's 35-year-old president, IBRAHIM TRAORE, has set social media ablaze with his comments lamenting how Africa, despite all of its riches in natural resources, is still so poor that its leaders have to travel to the West to beg for aid. He made these comments while attending the second edition of the Just End Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg in Russia. That took place from the 27th to the 29th of July. So this guy is very young, and I think he carries the spirit of Thomas Sankara. He's coming hard on the West and is here to protect the interest of Burkina Faso and that of Africa. So I think and I wish that African leaders should follow. I know we have debt, but debt can be cancelled. I know we have ties because our politicians, go and ask for money from the West. Our politicians have made deals with the West, things like that. But if other African countries can follow the way Burkina Faso is proposing that things be done and the direction of Mali, I think Africa can be great again. I know that we are scared as Africans. I know that, and we have nothing. We are scared, but we are poor. That is the problem of the mindset of a poor person. We are scared, we are poor. We have nothing to lose. There's this Niger guy, a pastor and a politician who was speaking a very, important information that if there can be a revolution led by young people who do not have families, who don't have kids, houses, or jobs, it's going to be a success because they will fight from the bottom of their hearts because they have nothing to lose. So politicians in Africa, political leaders, I know majority of them are sellouts. They don't make decisions before consulting. They are not leaders, but they're in leadership positions. I think this is the right time to fix the problem that they caused to countries like Zimbabwe. Because in 1980, when Zimbabwe got its independence, the things that Zimbabwe did were not wrong. But it is the way the surrounding countries in Africa decided to fold and look at Zimbabwe and not take the same direction that led to them, that led to Zimbabwe being sanctioned and look, very hostile and useless, and then everyone is just poor. It is because the other leaders were cowards. Other African countries, as soon as they got their independence, they should have followed Zimbabwe. And here is a young person. He is putting his life on the line. And we know what happened the last time this happened in Burkina Faso. Because Thomas Sankara was also young. But he was betrayed and killed by his right-hand man. And I think if other African countries do not follow what Mali is doing, what Burkina Faso is doing, it's not going to materialize. Burkina Faso can be the next Zimbabwe anytime. Because they're surrounded by countries that are led by fools. And I think Africa is taking the right direction. I wish in 2024, when the AFF takes power, they take the same direction. And force other countries to do the same. We cannot beg. Traore is right. We cannot beg. We have resources. Mineral resources, and they are using our people to dig these resources. They are using our people, on hard labor, Even farming, it's our people who are being used to farm, to work the land. So we need to follow, take the direction, and not only listen to the preaching of Pierre Lumumba, but work with other Africans to implement these ideas. It's doable. It's working. It has worked before. It's just that we are betraying each other because of power. And I know that as soon as a person like Traore uses power, the person who's going to take over from him is going to take power back to France. That is the problem. So people like him should be supported. African leaders should rise and tell the West that they cannot be captured by them and cannot be controlled by them. Because without Africa, the West will starve. Without the farms and the minerals of Africa that they are digging every day, they are going to starve. They are going to suffer. They know that they will starve. And I know black people are good when it comes to sharing. Trade will continue, but power and control over minerals must be on the hands of Africans. So the direction took by the Burkina Faso's president, who is 35 years old, you know, it needs someone with a backbone. It needs someone who's not a coward. But the problem is the surrounding. The problem is the leaders of other countries who are cowards, who will not take the same direction because they are cowards. So if other countries can follow, if the leader of the EFF in 2024 can follow the same direction, because I think they take South Africa serious. If we can follow the same direction, I think we're going to have, you know, a very united Africa and be able to take care of the little resources that are still left and make Africa great again. I don't think these guys don't want to trade internationally. They are just saying that they must own everything, the means of production, you know, resources and things like that. They must belong to the state. The state must have power, and the state it's us, it's black people. So I love the position that Burkina Faso has decided to take now. I like what Mali has done with that French, trying to uproot, you know, colonial systems. But cowards will not do that, we know. When the FF in South Africa speaks about removing borders, people think that everyone in Africa will flock into South Africa, and that is not the case. But we're made to be scared of each other. We're made to be scared of a fellow black man. In the streets at night, when you see a black man, you run. When you see a white man, you approach him. You want to ask, what's the problem, boss? That's a colonial system. That's an apartheid system. That is how they designed this, for black people to be full of fear. So if we still have leaders like IBRAHIM Traore, Africa is still safe. There's still hope in Africa. This Authentic Info Podcast, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, let's talk, like, share. Thank you.